Hey guys, welcome to my channel T-Time English with Tania. Today I'm going to be talking about top 10 grammar mistakes. I personally hear them very often from my students, and actually I used to make them myself. Watch this video till the end so you could avoid making them in the future and be more confident in your speech. So let's get started. Have a look at this short dialogue. I don't like when people interrupt me. I don't like it too. Can you find a mistake? Let's focus on the response. I don't like it too. It's grammatically incorrect. We can say I like it too, but it's impossible to react in this way to a negative statement. So, if a negative sentence is also true for you, you should use one of the next variants. I don't like it either, or neither do I. However, the second one is a little bit confusing because your response changes according to the tense used in the statement. For example, I wouldn't eat that, neither would I. Now it's your turn. Which responses are possible? I have never been to Asia. Neither have I. I haven't been there either. Neither did I. You have a couple of seconds to think. Right, A and B are correct. Neither did I is in the past simple, and the statement is in the present perfect. Let's move on to the next mistake. Let's take a look at these sentences. I've just arrived at the cinema. I've just arrived to the airport. I've just arrived in London. Which sentence or sentences are correct? I'll give you a couple of seconds. Right, the first and the last sentences are correct. Never say arrive to. We can say come to the cinema or London, but it doesn't work with arrive. Arrive at the cinema, but arrive in London. Why is this? Well, we use arrive at for specific places and buildings. For example, arrive at the airport. And we use arrive in for cities and countries. For example, arrive in Paris. Can you tell me which of the sentences is correct? Yesterday he came at the cafe late. I arrived at the airport at 10 p.m. We arrived to Paris at night. I'll give you a couple of seconds. The second one, I arrived at the airport at 10 p.m. Let's correct the other two. He came to the cafe late. We arrived in Paris at night. Another common mistake made in spoken English by many learners is the following. There are two sentences. My friend recommended him to find a new job. I always suggest my students to watch films in English. Can you tell me the mistake? I'll give you a clue. It's a subjunctive mood. Did it help? So, when we talk about suggestions, desires, and wishes, the sentence is formed slightly differently. The first sentence should be corrected to my friend recommended he find a new job. And the second one to I always suggest my students watch films in English. It is important to use the base form of the verb in that clause. That means we do not change our verb. No S in the third person singular after he, she, it. And what is more interesting, we do not change be. Let's have a look at this sentence. They suggested she be present at the interview. What about the negative form in such sentences? It's even easier than any other tense. We don't use do in negative sentences. For example, he recommended I not go back to work. I'll give you a few sentences. Which one is correct? He recommended me not to continue with my job. I suggested they work harder. My friend suggested she borrows money from her parents. I'll give you a couple of seconds. Right, the correct one is B. The first sentence should be corrected to he recommended I not continue with my job. The third sentence to my friend recommended she borrow money from her parents, because there should be the base form of the verb. The fifth mistake. Let's take a look at this sentence. I regret about my decision to quit the job. Can you find the mistake? I'll give you a couple of seconds. Regret about. you do not need to use about with regret. So it should be, I regret my decision to quit the job. But what if you have a verb after regret? For example, I'm going to regret eat all that chocolate. Which variant is correct? It should be eating. I'm going to regret eating all that chocolate. So if you use regret as a verb, we do not use about. And if it is followed by another verb, it should be used with an ing form. However, we have regrets about something. For example, I have regrets about telling the secret. I suppose there are too many regrets for today. So let's be positive and remember the next phrase. I have no regrets. It should be your life motto. But if you do have, share them in the comments below. Let's have a look at another mistake. Check these two sentences. He earns 2 million per year. There were more than 2,000 of people at the concert. Any guesses? I'll give you a couple of seconds. So we don't add s when we give an exact number, or we say several or a few. 2 million, 4,000 of people, several hundred. However, we do add s if we don't give a specific number. Thousands of people, millions of dollars. There is one more interesting thing regarding this. Which one is correct? There is $100 in my bag, or there are $100 in my bag. The first sentence, because an amount of money is considered a whole thing, so we use is, not are. Find the correct sentence. I have $10,000. Millions of people learn English. Give me back those $20 you owe me. B. Millions of people learn English because we don't mention an exact number. The first sentence should be corrected to I have $10,000 because it's a specific number. The third sentence to give back the $20 you owe me because it's collective, it's a sum of money. Let's move on to the next mistake. He asks me, where is the bank? Does it sound strange for you? I hope it does, because I used to make this mistake for many years. So how should it be corrected? You have a few seconds to think. He asks me where the bank is. Does it sound like a question or a statement? This is an indirect question that has the same word order as a statement. Now it's your turn. Find a mistake in every sentence. She wants to know, where do I study? They wonder when I am going to be free. My friend asks me, what did I do yesterday? I'll give you a couple of seconds. So the first one should be corrected to, she wants to know where I study. The second one to, they wonder when I am going to be free. And the last mistake, my friend asks what I did yesterday. Let's move on to the next mistake. Let's have a look at this sentence. I have to search a new job. My current one is too stressful. Can you see the mistake? I'll give you a couple of seconds. It should be, I have to search for a new job. Why is this? Well, to search something means to examine something. To search for something means to try to find something. The next mistake I want to focus on is in the next sentences. We state that 2 days. I have worked here 5 years. What is missing in these sentences? One word. Right, a preposition for. For 2 days, for 5 years. When you talk about the duration of something, from the beginning of the period to the end of the period, use for. This preposition always answers the question, how long? How long have you been waiting for me? I have been waiting for you for 10 minutes. Let's move on to the next mistake. Which dress should I wear? My black one or red one? Or, what dress should I wear? My black one or red one? Which sentence is correct? Think for a few seconds. It is which dress. We use what for an unlimited number of choices and which for a limited. In our case, we have two choices, black and red dresses. Which of these sentences is correct? What country do you want to move to? Or which country do you want to move to? The right answer is what country do you want to move to? Because there are many countries and we are not talking about specific ones. Let's focus on the last mistake. Today I prefer to have pizza. Any ideas? It should be corrected to today I'd rather have pizza or today I'd prefer to have pizza. Why is this? Because here we are talking about a specific preference in a particular situation. Would rather and would prefer have the same meaning and are followed by the to infinitive. However, would rather is less formal and would prefer is more formal. Coming back to prefer, in our first sentence, it is used to talk about general preferences. So, which one do you think is correct? I prefer to work remotely, or I'd prefer to work remotely. Right, I prefer to work remotely because it's in general. Let's try one more. I love tea, but I'd rather have coffee today because I'm exhausted. Or I love tea, but I prefer to have coffee today because I'm exhausted. Right, the first one, because it's a specific choice right now. What would you rather eat now? Comment below. I hope you enjoyed our lesson and you will be more confident and accurate in speaking. Please subscribe to my channel, click the like button and share with your friends.